Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kahalayim Yahweh, Basham, Yahweh Shai, Basham, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who rule well. Salutations to the Akim and the Four Winds, preaching in truth and sincerity, risking their lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, the elect. Shalom. To the Israelite foreigners whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel and have come back to the fold. Shalom. To you sisters, to you Akwathium who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader in meekness and in silence. Shalom. Hey, this your brother Ram Yahweh with the lesson. And
Well, it looks like one of Joe Biden's recent gaffes has worried American voters. A new poll carried out by INI TAPP has found that a majority, nearly two-thirds of voters, are concerned over Joe Biden's mental health after one very awkward mix-up. Late last month, Joe Biden had a confusing moment on stage where he was speaking at a White House event on hunger, nutrition and health. He began to thank the bipartisan support from Republican and Democrat leaders when he searched the crowd for Congresswoman Jackie Walorski.
Representative Jackie, are you here? Where's Jackie?
The issue was Jackie Walorski had tragically died in a car crash in August this year, and Joe Biden had released a statement at the time of her death saying that he and Jill were shocked and saddened by her passing. The blunder caused widespread criticism for the Biden administration, as it was just another example of the president looking confused and making mistakes. The White House attempted to push back on the press, passing off the mistake as harmless and that Jackie Walorski just happened to be top of mind for the president because he was going to be meeting with her family later that week.
So the president was, as you all know, you guys were watching today's event, a very important event on food insecurity. The president was naming the congressional champions on this issue and was acknowledging her incredible work. He had already planned to welcome the Congresswoman's family to the White House on Friday. There will be a bill signing in her honor this coming Friday. So, of course, she was on his mind. She was of top of mind.
Those attempts from the White House seem to have failed. The poll has revealed that voters are becoming increasingly concerned about the president's mental health. Respondents were asked in August how concerned they were about Joe Biden's mental health. Back then, 59% overall said they were worried about it. That included 82% of Republicans, 56% of independents, and 39% of Democrats. However, the same question was asked in early October after the president's mistake calling out the name of Congresswoman Walorski. This time, the number of those concerned grew to 64%, or just shy of two-thirds of voters. A majority of that jump in concern came from Democrat voters. From August to October, concerns from Democrats went from 39% to 52% in just a few months. 86% of Republicans described feeling very concerned about Biden's mental health, and 19% said they were somewhat concerned. 59% of independents said they were concerned or somewhat concerned, which is a 3% jump from August. Joe Biden will turn 80 years old next month and is already the oldest sitting president in US history. He has said that he does plan to run for a second term in 2024, which would see him finish his 4 years at 82 years old. If he won another 4 years, he would finish his 8-year term in 2028 at 86 years old. His cognitive ability has become a big problem from the Democratic Party as they look to keep control of the House and Senate ahead of next month's midterm elections. Republican lawmakers have been calling for the president to sit a cognitive test since mid-last year, the same way Donald Trump had to in 2018. In July, the number of Republicans grew from 13 to over 50, a movement led by former White House physician turned Congressman Ronnie Jackson. The letter read, "We again write to you to express concern with your current cognitive state and to urge you to submit a cognitive test immediately. We believe that, regardless of gender, age, or political party, all presidents should follow the example set by former President Trump to document and demonstrate sound mental abilities. The American people should have absolute confidence in their president, knowing that he or she can perform their duties of head of state and commander-in-chief. They deserve full transparency on the mental capabilities of their highest elected leader. To obtain the level of transparency that the American people deserve, we once again urge you to submit to a cognitive test immediately."
so this is Isaiah 29 verse 14. Isaiah 29 verse 14 in the NLT. And this is actually talking about the Israelites, but like the scriptures say, that are the curses that we went through are going to go upon our enemies. And we're starting to see that now, because like it said, knowledge shall increase in the last days. And as knowledge is increasing, we're getting wiser, and looks like our enemy is becoming to lose their wisdom, right? They're losing even their ability to pull the cloak or the wool over your eyes, right? Because it was so easy for them to lie, and you just sat back and you believed it. But now that's not happening, right? So it's Isaiah 29:14. Though therefore once more I will astound these people, right? So at that time it was the Israelites, but it's going to be you, because at one point in time you were astounded, right? Because you had the dust put upon you, and you went into the mountains, which is the South Georgia, Russia, right? Where it's called the what? Caucasus Mountains, where you get the word Caucasian, which means what? Cave dweller, right? So at one point in time you had the dust upon you, the dust of confusion, and that's gonna go back upon you, man. Right? With wonders upon wonder, the wisdom of the wise will perish, right? So ultimately, the Lord is going to take your wisdom, man, right? And which He is. When you see this and this is a nomen omen, or a sign showing you Biden as the so-called president of the United Snakes of America, or United States, right? And then they say he wants to run another year. Well, you're already looking a bad example, and then people are losing respect for America, right? So it's actually a good thing you in there. You know, it's a thing that maybe you should run again, and I hope you get it, because guess what? Now those other nations are going to look down on you even more. You know what I mean? And the intelligence from the intelligent will vanish, man. And that's ultimately what the Lord is doing. He did it to us. Now He's going to do it to you overall. And this time it's what? Double, man. Double unto you. Yeah, so this is Jeremiah 49:7 concerning Edom, right? You self-proclaimed so-called white man, right? Which is Edom, right? Even though so-called Russians, they're Edomites. They're gonna get it, but they're the end. They're the foot, because they're the bear. They're gonna be the last ones to get taken out, right? Thus saith Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai of hosts, which means armies. Is there no more wisdom in Teman? And Teman is an Edomite in Germany, right? When you deal with the Project Paperclip, because half of the German scientists from Hitler went to Russia, and the other half went to America, right? And they had the so-called space race, right? Just to fulfill prophecy that you're the one that's that your nest should be in heaven, right? Right? That's why you got these international space stations, right? And that you put your nest amongst the stars, which is the International Space Station, but it's also what? The Israelites, because we're stars, right? All you got to do to understand that is read the story of Joseph, right? When he had the vision of the stars bowing down to him, Those stars were his own brethren, and then it said the moon and the sun too, as being what, a representation of who, the Israelites, right? So it says is counsel perished from the prudent, right? Because what, you're having all these so-called council meetings, doomsday councils, and council amongst the atomic people. You having all these summits, right, of these world leaders trying to figure out what can you do next, and how do you pull the wool over the people's eye, or what's the next pandemic. What's the next step into what you're trying to do, right? Right? Is their wisdom vanished? So ultimately, what, your wisdom is vanished, man. And Biden is a great representation of the Edomites' wisdom vanishing, right? Because that's like that's a sign. That's a great sign, because he's supposed to be the king of Babylon. He's the king of Egypt right now. He's the king of Nineveh, right? So there's no more wisdom amongst you Edomites, man. It's vanished. Flee ye, turn back, dwell deep. Right? You building your bunkers, international space stations, your bunkers, your retreats under the water. Right? O inhabitants of Dudan, and for I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, right? Because your forefather, what, for one morsel of meat, or what's not really meat, because meat, it wasn't a meat, right? It was really you ate soup, but the meat means something good. For one morsel of something that was good, meat meaning good, right? Because what, having the birthright would have been good. It would have been what was meat, right? For a bowl of soup, you sold that was what was meat. For a bowl of soup, which that was good for a bowl of soup, right? So we put the calamities of Esau upon him, the time that I will visit him, right? And that's coming now, man, via World War III. And you can see the dismay, the confusion, the things that they're going about. They don't know what to do. They're perplexed on every side, right? North Korea's shooting off missiles, Russia's shooting off missiles, right? And they're talking about they don't want to have no peace talks with you. They're just ready for war. Yeah, so this is Hebrews 12:16. Lest there be any fornicators or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright, right? I like this one right here. It says, seeing to it that no one is sexually immoral or is godless like Esau, who for a single meal, right? See, not meat, a meal, sold his birthright, right? And in a sense, sexually immoral, right? Because you hold up what? You uphold Sodom and Gomorrah. That's why this is called Sodom and Egypt, right? Because even in Egypt, they did a lot of debauchery, right? Male on male, woman on woman, right? And you uphold that, man, right? You don't want a man to have multiple wives. You make it illegal when in the Bible, when you say you're a God-fearing country, and the Bible says that a man can have two wives, right? That's actually in the law. You're not a God-fearing people, man. You're sexually immoral, man, or godless, man. And that's ultimately what the self-proclaimed so-called white man is. Yeah, so this is Hebrews 12 and 16. And the blue letter says, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. Right, so let's go into this so we can get some more in depth what the Hebrew, or what is the Greek would say, because it went from the Hebrew into the Greek. So let's just go down to this morsel, because now it's in the Greek, but it still gives you better understanding.
Strong's G 1035. Brosis.
So brosis, let's see, act of eating, in the wider sense, corrosion. See, in the wider sense, it's talking about being Esau. It's corrosion, man. Right, that which is eaten food. Let's see. It says of the soul's food, either which refreshes the soul, or nourishment and supports it, right? Which is good. It doesn't mean that he actually had a piece of meat. It was because really, when you go into it, you go back to it. It just said there were lentils in there. Didn't say there was meat or not meat, right? So let's go and see up here, because I got the etymology. Go a little bit deeper. See if we can.
Strong's G 977. Bibrosko.
Berosco. Right, Berosco. Reduplicated. Prolonged from. Obsolete. Premium word. Okay. To eat. Greek writer from Homer down. Often. I'm not gonna look into that. But yeah, unused, right? Because the whole process of this whole thing, it goes deeper, because what he didn't use what the Lord gave him, right? Present. Whence perfect. Right? This thing is supposed to make you perfect, right? Saying, going to the a little bit deeper into the etymology.
Strong's G 1006. Bosco. Bosco.
This is a Bosco. It's a Bosco to feed. Portraying the duty of a Christian, right? What really would go into Israelite, right? Or a prophet, right? Teacher to what? To promote in every way the spiritual welfare of the members of the church. Whoa, so wait a minute. This just got deeper. This just took a whole another turn, right? Because what? Because doesn't it say in Ezekiel to eat the whole roll and go and teach the children of Israel? So basically he put that off. He put off the kingdom for one morsel of a meal. To eat a meal. He put off what the Lord set up, that you're going to have to go what? Teach the children of Israel. Right? Which in that case, it would have been, if he would have kept it, it would have been the Edomites, because then they would have been in the lower state and would have had to be subjugated to all these different things. But then the Lord had already set it up in the spirit realm before they were even born, that it was always going to go to Jacob. But he put off, he didn't really want that anyway, to have to go what? Teach, to be more perfect, to be what? Good. Because ultimately to go teach, what are we teaching? The good news. Yeah, so that took a whole nother turn. So it says Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 3, and he said unto me, Son of man, cause thy belly to eat, right? And fill thy bowels with this roll that I give thee. Then did I eat, and it was good, and it was in my mouth as honey for sweetness. And he said unto me, he said unto me, Son of man, go get thee unto the house of Israel and speak my word. See? And you're supposed to go teach what? It said church, but really it's Israelites, man. Right? It said Christians, but it's really the Israelites. Right? So you put off what was good, because what to go out and teach is what? The gospel, the good news. So this is Isaiah chapter 61 and 1. The spirit of Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, power is upon me, because Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, power hath anointed me to preach, to go and tell the children of Israel the good tidings, which means what? Good news. The gospel means good tidings, good news. Unto the what? Meek. Right? And Esau didn't want to be meek. Right? Was that commercial? It's my money and I want it now. Yeah, you know that's Esau. He wanted it now. Right? He had sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives. Because see, Esau didn't really want to be captive. He still don't want to be captive. His whole thing is to be a fugitive and a vagabond forever. He gonna run. But guess what? There's no more running. and to open and the opening of the prisons to them that are bound, to proclaim the acceptable year of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And that's where we're at, man. We're coming to that time, that acceptable